Friendly reminder, Planet people, please, no video recording or flash photography, or you may be asked to leave. Attention! The next panel is about to begin. If you'd like to get a better view of our next...
What's up, Planet Comicon 2025? Welcome, guys. Welcome to the 26th incarnation of this amazing convention. My name is Ming Chen. You might know me from a little TV show called Comic Book Men. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. But our show would not have been possible or as good if not for the show that preceded ours. A little show called The Walking Dead that you guys might know about. And I'm about to bring to the stage two of the most badass actors, badass guys from that show. Tom Payne, you may know from a number of BBC projects. A project called The Physician and its upcoming sequel. And whenever I hear the term Jesus Saves, I think of Tom Payne. And we also got Ross Marquand, who you might know from Invincible, from the Marvel Universe, from Walking Dead. And you may know him from a little project called X-Men 97 as Professor X. So without further ado, let's bring out two of my favorite people ever, Ross Marquand and Tom Payne. Come on out here, guys. Come on out here.
Hello. It's Sunday. I'm Jesus.
Oh! Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, big comfy couch. Hello.
Big comfy couch. Big room full of people.
Oh.
Wow. Hi.
I'm gonna just take a nap.
Thank you. Nebraska Furniture Mart is a proud sponsor of this.
Nebraska
nice.
Furniture
Yeah.
Bar. I like
Very
it.
nice.
I'm trying to get a free couch.
There you go.
I'm trying to get a free couch.
This is a great couch to sleep on as well. It's
Yeah.
been a while, but it would be a great couch to sleep on.
Yeah, so usually before the panels run, they make an announcement. They're like, hey, please refrain from asking for hugs, autographs, selfies, and kisses. And I imagine they made that rule probably for YouTube. I think YouTube are probably the biggest violators of that, so.
Somebody did kiss me yesterday.
Oh.
They asked me, though. And I was like,
Oh.
yeah, okay.
Okay, consent, everybody. Consent is.
Well, on the cheek, yeah. Yeah, no, we didn't like a French kiss in the middle of the... So my wife would not be very happy.
Yeah, I love being on the stage with you too. I love this convention so much, and when I find something that I love, I want to share it with the people that I really love. So that would be you two. We've traveled the world together, and me and this guy in particular have we've gotten into trouble. We've gotten out of trouble. We should be banned in many cities, but. And Tom, I don't know if you remember this. I think we drunkenly sang TLC's Waterfall in Nashville at one point.
Dude, because we used to do this Walker Stalker convention.
Yes, yeah.
And at the beginning, it was this whole thing is such a mind fuck at the beginning, where you're just like everyone is. There's such big energy to it.
Yeah.
And especially at the beginning when I joined, it was a very big. My character was very popular, and everyone's just like, "Wow, you're amazing! This show is amazing! Isn't it all amazing?" And like, yes, it is. Let's get really drunk and talk about it. So at the beginning, those first few years, like all of these conventions were pretty wild. But now I have a wife and 3 kids, and I'm like,
Yeah, what's
a little bit more relaxed
You
now.
recently had twins.
Yeah, we had twins 11 months ago.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. What's that like? I know having one kid, I got 2. I only have 2, so
You have to ask my wife how this weekend went to
Yes.
really know how it's going. But not too bad. It's great. We're very happy.
Yeah, I think that's a testament because, I'm never home. My kids are older now, but thankfully we have great wives who are very understanding, not even somewhat. So, but it changes everything though, the fatherhood, for sure, for sure.
I have wild turkeys on my property, and
Wild
I feel
turkey
like
bourbon.
I feel like they're my children. So technically, I get it. I get it, guys.
I love that you say my property. It's not like at my house or my house, like at my property.
Oh yeah,
You're
they
so
don't
fancy
live
nowadays.
Yeah, no, you were involved in a project called The Physician, and which came out about 10 years ago, and the sequels.
We just shot the sequel this summer, yeah.
Yeah. Rob Cole's coming back, everybody. For
Yeah.
you fans out there. What was that like? Getting that call? It's like, hey, we're coming back. We're shooting 2024. It's coming out this year, correct?
It's going to come out at Christmas, yeah, in Europe. We're looking for distribution for America right now. It's very cool to be able to go back and do a project. It's like, I mean, it was 10 years since I started as Jesus, really. So if I went back to Walking Dead, it would be kind of a similar thing. But as is the way, like, we made that film 10 years ago, and it was really, really popular in certain territories, in like Germany and Spain and and a few European countries. we've been trying to make the sequel for at least 8 years.
Yeah.
And like various things get in the way, like different TV shows, and the Europeans don't understand how America can just own you contractually.
Oh yeah.
It's like when you're doing Walking Dead, or when I was doing Prodigal Son, like you sign these contracts which they literally own you. And we would have the German producers say, well, what do you mean you can't tell us if you're available at this time? And it's like, well, because the Americans own him until this and this and this. But no, it's really amazing to go and revisit. And I was able to produce this time, so I was involved in the script and like putting everything
pulling
together.
double duty.
It was really, really cool. And I'm trying to move more into that area because I don't know if you guys know, but the industry is in a really crazy place right now. And it's not really enough to just, especially if you're a father, to be like just waiting for the phone to call for acting work. So it's been really nice to be like finding scripts and developing things and looking for more things to produce. But it's really great to be able to revisit a role. As there was a lot of me when we did that first, there's a lot of who I am as a person. And 10 years later to come back and revisit myself really in that character was really great. It was a nice opportunity to revisit something. But it's weird. It's not often you get that chance. So
no, yeah,
I'm very grateful.
So mark your calendars, Christmas Day, 2025.
Yeah.
It's the next thing to look forward to. So right on.
Thanks.
Ross, you're one of my favorite people in the world. What I love about you though is, in addition to being an actor and a very handsome man and a badass, you're one of the biggest nerds I know, for sure. Now you really Star Wars, Marvel. You read comic books. You collect toys. You truly love coming to these conventions. We probably buy way too much stuff when we come to these things. But I think one of the most happiest moments in my life was when you drunkenly told me that you were going to be Professor X on X-Men '97.
I didn't tell you that, did I?
Yeah, it was after you were able to. But
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, and at first I thought you were joking, and then when I saw that dead serious look in your eyes, and you tapped your forehead, and I was like, oh, whoa, he's serious. He's serious. It was like hearing one of your friends is going to be like a Jedi or something. Like to me, that's how awesome it was. What was it like for you finding out that you're going to be voicing the man who the X in X-Men?
Yeah, that was. The Walking Dead call was probably the most amazing of my life because I was on the very firm decision to give up acting. I decided to give up acting a month prior to that.
1 month?
Literally almost 1 month to the day. I was like, I'm done. I'm good. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I had $120,000 of credit card debt that just kept getting worse.
Oh,
every
okay.
month.
That would do it, I guess.
And I just said, this isn't working out. I learned a lot. I'm grateful for the opportunities I had, but it's not going to happen. And then I had this audition for Walking Dead pop up. I hadn't had an audition for almost a year.
Yeah.
I thought UTA had dropped me. I was like, oh God, I didn't know I was still on your roster. And they said, well, we worked really hard to get you this. And I said, I kind of don't want to do this because I don't want another rejection under my belt before I go into this next chapter. And they kind of had to push me to do it. I was like, okay, I'll go. And it's the only audition I didn't care about the outcome. And I think we talked about this before, is just when you remove the expectation or the desire, like, I won't be happy unless I get this job or this partner or whatever it is. Once you remove the expectation, it's just that's just the best version of yourself. You're not as desperate. You're not as hungry for the thing. So that was the best call of my career, for sure, because it saved my life. But when I got the X-Men call, I was over the moon because that show, the original show from the 90s, is the reason why I became an actor, quite literally. And I've told Wolverine this, Cal Dodd. Cal played Wolverine so well in the original series. And there was this scene in an episode where he's up in Alaska hanging out with this Inuit tribe. And Sabretooth, of course, follows him there. And he's just losing his mind because he just wanted to have a little peace and quiet. And he literally screams from the mountaintop. He's like, there's no peace for me here. There's no peace for me anywhere. And I was like, I get that. As a 12-year-old going through puberty, I had terrible,
no peace.
Terrible acne. Like really, really like shockingly bad acne. Braces, glasses, bean pole. I got picked on all the time. I got bullied a lot. So I related to that character a lot. And I said, that's what I want to do later in life. So 30 years later, to get to play on the new version is just insane. It's really nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, and that Cal Dodd does the con circuit. Yeah, we're like, hey, bub, thanks.
Yeah, he does sound like Wolverine. He is Wolverine, you know.
Yeah, and then all the other voice actors from the either working on it or doing conventions. Yeah, it's really amazing. So congratulations,
Thank
man.
you, brother. Thank you.
Congratulations. Makes me very happy. Plus, I brag to my friends like I know that guy. I know Professor X. So we got an audience mic over here. I'm not gonna hog all the questions. So if anybody has any questions, the microphone is over here. And all right, we got one here. You're gonna kick it off, my friend. Right into the microphone, and yeah, the floor is yours.
What was it like being on the set of The Walking Dead for both of you?
Well, I didn't watch the show. Like you knew the show and you watched it. So for me, entering into it, I entered into it a bit blind. I knew Andy, who played Rick, years before, because we were actually from the same city in England. And when I was doing a TV show in LA, and we shared the same voice coach when Andy was doing the pilot for Walking Dead. So I knew he was doing it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I knew about the show. But then when the audition came through, I really had no idea. And I was in England at the time. I mean, I was living in California, but I happened to be in England. And kind of similar to Ross, like I had a tax bill I couldn't pay, and my visa in America was about to run out. Like that's really at the end of everything. And I was thinking, I'm going to have to move back in with my parents. That was crazy. When I was 31. And then this audition came through, and it's a fake name and a fake scene, and you have no idea what you're really auditioning for. So same thing, like you can't really put pressure on yourself because you're like, also because I didn't know the show, I was like, well, I'll do it and see how it goes. And I sent the tape on Wednesday, and I got cast on Friday, and I was on set on Monday.
They didn't want to wait.
No,
they didn't
it
mess
was
around.
wild. And so for me to be on set like that so quickly, it's such a whirlwind. But the first scene I had was actually being unconscious in the back of the car with Norman and like falling on him. And I don't know if he was actually annoyed. I think he was a bit.
What are you doing? Get off me.
Get off me. And then that same week we started shooting the running around the field and all that kind of stuff. And the whole thing was really bizarre. I was like, this is wild. I'm straight into this thing with the two biggest actors on the show. And then by the end of that episode, I'm sat around the table with all the other, main actors. It was a bit of a baptism of fire. And I hadn't worked for a year as well, up until that point. But then the real realization in joining the show, I joined the show, when it was the biggest show in the world. And the real realization is when you see the fans' response to it. Because you go and shoot in Georgia, you don't see anyone. We had a lot of people who were like trying to sneak shots of me on set. So we had these like umbrellas and fake names and all this kind of stuff. But it was only when I went to Madison Square Garden for the premiere of season 6 that I was like, oh, gee. And I had a bit of a like, oh my God, I can't get out of this. Like it was, because it really is that moment of like, wow, everything's going to change from this moment. And it did, and it was great. In a very lovely way. I had a great character, and I was really happy with it. So, but yeah, you knew about the show before you joined.
Yeah, I was a big fan, and I'd been trying to get on for several years. And I auditioned twice before. One was for Gareth, the leader of the Terminites?
Terminus, yeah.
Cannibals. And I was so bummed when I didn't get it. I was like, God, that's a great part. But then he got killed after 4 episodes, so it's like, all right, maybe it didn't work, And the other guy, I don't know who the other guy was, but the beginning of that year, I had auditioned for SNL, and really that would have been my dream since I was a kid. And when I didn't get that, I was like, what am I doing? I got a mountain of debt. I was doing medical studies to pay the bills. They were testing non-FDA approved drugs on my body. Like literally like the dumbest things for money. When you're desperate, you do dumb things for money. And I just said, I'm kidding myself. I'm a failure. Like I don't know what I'm doing here. And that show genuinely saved my life and saved my career in so many ways. But I was sick as a dog on my birthday, August 22nd, 2014. Had the stomach flu. I was like, this is the worst birthday ever. And then later that night, around 5 o'clock, my manager called me, and she's like, are you sitting down? I'm like, I'm lying down. What's up? Like, what do you need? And she's like, well, your life is about to change. You just booked The Walking Dead. I was like, huh? What? And I instantly felt better, like just totally fine. It was a weird thing. Like your body just is like, great, you're fine now, And then the next week, like Tom was saying, almost a week to the day, I'm on set, and the first person I meet is Andrew, who's lovely, and he's just like, he stays in character pretty much 99% of the time. He doesn't drop he's from Bath, right? You're both from Bath, yeah. And he's just like, very much Rick Grimes. He comes up, he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the family." I'm like, "Holy crap, you're Rick Grimes!" Oh shit! And then I met Eugene and Abraham, and they were both great, and just everybody just was so welcoming. But it again, trial by fire, where you're like given a shit ton of dialogue. We both had, I think, 9 or 10 pages to memorize.
Yeah, because when you join, you have all this exposition, and all of the lead characters are looking at you, listening to the exposition. It's like, crazy.
Yeah. It was, genuinely the biggest thing in my career for sure, and I'm so grateful for it. Yeah.
It's amazing. Did you read the comic books?
I'm actually illiterate, so.
Oh, right. Did you look at the pictures?
I looked at the pictures though. Yeah.
Okay.
No, my buddy Doug had been trying me to get me to read it for years, but I was like, it's so massive. There's so many issues. Like, I don't know, man. And once I got the part, Scott Gimple, our showrunner, was like, "Hey, this is a great blueprint for your characters. Feel free to beg, borrow, and steal as much as you want from Robert Kirkman's source material.
Yeah.
He did a great job of giving so much backstory on these people, So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to read it either, but then I was like, wait, there's an Asian character here. Like, he's a badass. I'm going to read this. Yeah. And then they killed him.
They killed him, yeah.
Then they killed him.
Oof. Spoiler. Oh, season
Yeah,
spoiler?
oh, sorry.
That was 10 years ago. Where you been?
Sorry.
Spoiler.
Sorry. That didn't happen. So, your question coming up. You're next. Right into the microphone.
Hey there. This is for both of you. Given the opportunity to return to the show, if you could, what would you like to see for your characters?
You mean what would we like to see happen?
Yeah, like
I
a
would like-
backstory or...
I would like to see the fight with Beta that happens with both of us. I would like to see me fight Negan. I would like to see all of the cool shit that we didn't do with Jesus that happens in the comic books. But as it goes, I was happy to leave when I left, and it was all fine. But there was a lot of cool stuff. Like reading the comic books, I read them after I got on the show. And I think I did myself a bit of a disservice because it made me tiny bit upset that I didn't get to do some of the cool stuff. I was very happy with what I was given, but I definitely would have liked to do the fight with Beta that they gave to some other dude on the show. I can't remember what his name is. I think it's Norman. He looked cool when he did it. It's fine.
That was, I think, our biggest regret was that we really wanted to have that showdown, as it's just two on because Beta's just this massive. Ryan is a massive dude, and we really wanted to do that. But we also wanted to explore the relationship because that was so baked into the last several 50 issues of the comics, and I think we thought it was super important, even though they weren't going to show it on screen during that 6-year time jump. After Rick has left the show, after I've lost my arm, after I've lost Eric, that we had a relationship. Even if it wasn't going to be presented in the script, we really wanted to make sure that we had an understanding that we had something, whatever that looked like. And I think it kind of shows in that scene where we're doing the fight sequence where he's training me to fight.
The fight sequence, and then we sat on the log afterwards.
Yeah.
And stuff. It
was very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So I would love to explore that too.
It's just hard. There's so many characters on the show. It's hard to give everyone, so you get what you're given, and if you're lucky, you get some cool stuff. But it would be nice to be able to put more character development in there, but it's hard. There was 16 main characters when I joined the show. It's a lot of people to cater towards.
Yeah, and it just grew from there. So
yeah.
It was a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Come on up, my friend. You got the next question. Right into the microphone.
Hi, guys. My name is John. Thank you both for taking your time out of your schedules to come visit us here in Kansas City for sure. My question here is for Tom. I feel like a lot of us, I feel the same as a lot of us probably do, that we are not going to be able to watch any more Prodigal Son. So my question to you is, given the cliffhanger that we had at the end, what would you have liked to see for the season that never happened?
It's funny because I never had the conversations with the showrunners about the next season. We were kind of unsure. It was weird. It was COVID. There was a lot going on. I think that it could have carried on that his dad did die, but then he was still in his head the whole time. Which we had already done as well. We had shot an episode where he appeared, outside of the prison cell and in his head and stuff. And I think that could have worked quite well. What killed the show, there's a couple things. It was expensive because of COVID at the end, and on the balance sheet didn't quite work out. It wasn't quite popular enough. And also, it had one of its strongest aspects was the family relationship, but the network always wants the murder of the week. So you have this thing where you have the character, which I think was the strongest part of the show, was the family relationships and the father and the son. But then you're always trying to crowbar in a murder of the week as well. And it just becomes really tough to be able to do that because they want to be able to sell the show around the world and they want you to be able to pick up and play, like not to have seen the other episodes, so you can just watch the murder of the week, like Law and Order or something. But they were stuck because the family stuff was so strong, and everyone loved seeing Michael. And Michael is involved in the family of the week, but isn't. And yeah. So I think the show might have had to have kind of morphed into something else, and we've chosen a path, and maybe left the cop side of it behind, and made it more maybe like a road drama with me and Michael or something. We could have gone off and done stuff together, because those last couple of episodes was kind of like that anyway. And they were really enjoyable to do. I don't think we can ever go back now. I think if we got on Netflix, I think it could definitely pick things up. We do really well on HBO Max, but listen, I would love to. But Michael just works every hour of every day as well. His schedule is very hard to put together. So I feel like the only way that we could really have a chance of doing it again is if we put together like a little TV movie or something, which I'm up for, and I could still. I talked to the writers. I spoke to one of the writers last week. We'll see. But making a TV show is, especially right now in this climate, is really hard for various different reasons. Maybe and actually a lot of stuff gets shot in Europe now because it's a lot cheaper there. So maybe we end up in Europe doing something. We come up like Daryl in Paris, and like turn up in France.
Can we? I haven't seen the spinoff because I don't have cable. Can someone explain how the hell he gets to Paris? Like, does he have a flying motorcycle now? Like, what? How does he get there? As a boat? But like a sailboat? Gas is no good anymore, right? Gas is no good. So it's just a sailboat, right?
A barge.
A barge with gas that doesn't work because it's been corroded. I'm so confused as to why he got to Paris.
Doesn't matter. It's cool.
It is cool, but
He hopped on Dennis Hopper's barge from Waterworld and he got over.
there you go.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
I would watch that. Yeah.
I would watch that. Yeah,
I would
yeah.
definitely
Hell
watch that.
I like
Thank
Waterworld.
you.
Yeah, great question.
Oh, hey.
Come on up. You're right into the microphone.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I have a question kind of for both of you, but mostly directed towards Mr. Payne. I understand that your character had a giant arc, but I never really trusted you. Do you think in your relationship, I always wanted a relationship for Aaron. He was a very special character and deserved it. Do you think that the arc of your character really was set up to be a good baby daddy to his daughter, or do you think you would have left him high and dry, kind of like Abraham and Rosita? Thank you.
There's a whole play going on in your head. I think he would have been great. Jesus wasn't very good at staying in one place, but I do think that they had a great relationship, and I do think that. No, I think if he didn't exit in the way that he did, I think he would have hung around. And honestly, it's a big missed opportunity, that relationship, and to have that kind of relationship on such a big television show, and to bring up a child together would have been amazing, actually. I do feel that we always forget his previous relationship on the show. He did have a relationship on the show. But I feel like it could have worked out, yeah, definitely.
I think he would have been a great dad. It would be like two men and a little lady.
Yeah.
Like those, you know what I mean? Or My Two Dads.
Yeah, My Two
Remember
Dads?
My Two Dads from the 80s?
Yeah. Who else
Anybody?
is old out there? Who remembers that?
Yeah, it's like, where are my old people at?
Yeah, where are old people?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
Two Dads.
Gen X.
Yeah.
I think he would have been great, though.
Are you Gen X?
I'm on the cusp. I'm like the first year of millennial.
Right,
So
which is what,
81. Yeah.
81.
yeah.
Oh, that's the first year. Okay, I'm the
So
second.
they say that millennial begins at either 80 or 81. It kind of goes back and forth, but I don't know why there's a difference of opinion on that. It should be 1 year, but yeah. So I'm first year. I'm elder millennial, as they say.
Oh, yeah, me
But I'm kind of more Gen X.
If you saw the original Star Wars trilogy in the theater, you were old.
I I could
but he
not have.
didn't.
Return of the Jedi came out in '83.
Yes.
So I was a 2-year-old. I probably wouldn't have gone to that,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Great question.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Detailed
Come on up right into the microphone.
I wanted to ask, how does your horrible words? How does your interpretation with doing a voice role versus a on-screen role differ?
I don't think. I think the best thing to do is to not differ at all. You only have your voice available when you're doing voice work. You don't get to use your expression or your eyes or your body language. You have to convey everything through the voice. So if anything, it's just a more heightened kind of on-camera acting. And people always ask, like, when you're doing these scenes, like for Invincible or whatever, where you're fighting a lot, do you just grunt and make it won't work right. You have to literally swing. You look like an idiot in the booth, right? Because you're like, I mean, people are like, I like that you're doing it over there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, you really have to get into it and treat it like an acting role on camera. Otherwise, it won't translate at all.
There's great footage of Hugh Jackman doing Wolverine ADR. So when you go and do like additional audio recording for certain scenes to get the sound exactly right, and it's, I don't know which movie it's from, but it's him like running through the woods and just ripping people apart, and he's doing all of it.
I think it's from Logan.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Logan.
right.
Definitely Logan.
And he's doing it's full on physical, but he can't run, so he's kind of like running on the spot and doing all this stuff. And like, yeah, I mean, you have to, because it has to come vocally from the same place. And if you're not doing the movements, then it will just sit in your throat and it won't sound right. It'll sound too small. Yeah, and I haven't got voice work yet. He gets all the voice work.
Thank you. Yeah, lower that down right into the microphone.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Kyrie.
Hi, Kyrie.
I actually know Ming. Hi.
Oh, hi, yes.
So just in general, if the apocalypse ever actually happened, do you think you would die or survive?
Gentlemen.
I love the sweetness of your voice asking that question. Like, do you think you die in the apocalypse? It's like, wow, what a sweet and also messed up moment. Very bittersweet. I think I'd do all right. I mean, like, who knows, right? If it's, I'll say this. If it's the kind of zombies from Walking Dead, fine, no problem. I really feel like so much of that could be solved with a bit of just logical, like, distancing and, like walking a little bit faster than other people, like, that's it. But if it's like the zombies from 28 Days Later, no, we're all dead. We're all dead. Yeah, we're all gonna die.
I read the script for that new 28 Days Later.
How is it?
It's really good.
Ooh.
It's cool. And it's set like after all of that I'm really looking forward to that movie. It's set like, obviously, what is it, 28 years
20
later?
years, yeah.
And so society has kind of figured out a way to be, and it's very cool. It was a good script. And they're doing like 3 of them, so that's cool.
Is Killian gonna be in it? Cillian Murphy?
I can't.
Oh.
I do know the answer to that, but I can't say because I don't think they've openly talked about it.
Sounds like a big yeah.
I think they've talked about it, right? But I'm not gonna say the answer to that question. No. I don't know.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian
Murphy.
I think I do fine. No, I mean, I think I kind of feel like the same as you, to be honest. But I feel like it's where you are when it happens. Like, I mean, also, you didn't define what type of apocalypse. So, didn't talk about it being walkers or whatever.
Yeah,
There's-
nuclear.
there's lots of
zombies.
different ways it could happen. But I feel like where you are geographically would make a big difference in how you are able to survive. America's a big place. There's lots of different places you could be where there's no one around, still, surprisingly. I've driven across America a bunch of times now, and there's huge swathes of America where there's nothing. And very mountainous regions where there's nothing, and cold and hot. And so I think it depends where you are. But then, of course, you need to get provisions and everything, so it's not just about fighting.
Yeah, I would miss Comic-Cons and ice. So yeah, I'm done for. Like that QT ice you guys got here, I'd be done for without that. So great question. Hello, right up to the microphone.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I have another question for Tom. So what was it, you already kind of talked about this a little, but can you talk more about how it was like working with Michael on Prodigal Son?
So this is nothing against anyone on The Walking Dead, but I didn't feel like I was really stretched as an actor on The Walking Dead. Like, physically, it was amazing, but my character never really got any kind of, like, juicy acting stuff with the other actors. I got some with Lenny, which I was really happy about, because Lenny's just a fantastic actor, and we had some of that. But as I said, 16 main characters, very hard to cater to everyone. So, you know, there's a story that you're trying to tell, and you can't give it to everyone. When I got onto Prodigal Son, it was like, oh, you didn't think you did enough acting? Have all of the acting possible, and do it with one of the best actors that's living right now, which was fantastic. Like, I mean, honestly, we only get better by working with better people and great people, directors, actors in every department. And Michael is just such a gifted performer. Those scenes were so great, with just the scenes that we had together, because we both knew our characters really well, and we knew what existed between us in those scenes, and we just let them flow. You know, there's no kind of plan of well, I'm going to do this and you're going to do that. We never talked about it. We just did the scenes. And that's the real, they were very emotionally draining, obviously, but that's what's the most fun in our job, is when you're kind of in a flow. It's like a musician, jamming, like Ross was talking about jazz earlier on. It's kind of like that. You're just trading emotions and surprising each other. I won't lie, and there are times when I'm doing it and he did something like, damn, that was good. Oh, that was clever. Because he's just so capable and so fantastic. And it's a joy. And although it was exhausting, it's everything that you got into it for. So no, Michael's just wonderful. But I will say I would like to work with Michael on something a bit lighter, because although we did talk outside of the set and we did hang out a bit, there's definitely an energy that you can't quite rub off, I guess. And I would like to have worked with him on Good Omens or something where he's much lighter, just to see him be a bit lighter in general around the set and stuff, because it was heavy stuff that we were doing. But yeah, he's wonderful, and just everything that I wanted. He's just a fantastic actor, and that's what you want to work with, you know.
Can I ask real quick, what was Lou Diamond Phillips? How was that?
Oh my God, Lou is one of my favorite people, and you know Lou as well.
I love Lou.
Lou married my wife and I. Lou's just
he performed the ceremony.
Yeah. We got married during COVID, on a piece of paper, and then we had to cancel our actual wedding, ceremony. But we got married on a piece of paper, so that my wife could have my health insurance and have our baby. I mean, America. But then we rearranged our ceremony for a couple of years later, and Lou did the vows and everything. Yeah.
Love that dude.
Because we just thought about who do we want to do it, and Lou is just perfect for him. He's wonderful, and also just a legend. Young Guns and I mean, they're doing Young Guns 3 now. I texted Lou yesterday because I'm doing a convention in 2 weeks and Kiefer Sutherland's going to be there. I'm like, Lou, you have to come, because so many people are coming up to me for Prodigal Son. I'm like, you have to come. We have to do a photo op for Prodigal Son. But he's doing another one, which is annoying. But no, Lou is wonderful. Anytime I get to see Lou's, he's a wonderful cook as well, a really good chef. And if you ever get the chance for Lou Diamond Phillips to cook for you,
yes, have him make you dinner. Have him make you dinner. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's great. They'd have because Lou does a lot of impressions as well. So anytime you get them together, they're all doing impressions at each other, and you can't get them to shut up.
Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Great question. You're up next, right into the mic.
Yes, this is for Ross. What was your reaction when you got the role of Red Skull?
Ah, man, that was, I think the Walking Dead reaction, like I was saying earlier, that was a relief, because I could finally pay my bills. And it was, saved my career in so many ways. But the Red Skull, I didn't realize what it was until I got to set. They didn't tell me what it was. It was they said loosely based character on Captain America, First Avenger, but it was all code names. It was I think it was called Mary Lou was the name of the
Mary Lou.
Mary Lou was the code name for Avengers. And I got to set, and I thought it was just going to be a voiceover job. That's how they pitched it to me. And then they have a trailer waiting for me, which is unheard of. You're like, whoa, I thought I'd go to the sound booth. There's a motion capture suit waiting for me in there. And I'm like, I don't think you got the right guy. I think I said to the PA, I'm like, you sure it's me? And they're just like, yeah, Ross. I'm like, okay. So I put on the motion capture suit. I'm feeling like an idiot. They shave my face, and I'm like, what is going on here? Because I love my beard, and I hate shaving it for any reason.
It's epic beard, yeah.
It's my beard, I need
epic.
it. And then I get to set, and it's a room about this size, honestly. And there's 150 people waiting for me, including the Russo brothers, who I recognize from different interviews and whatnot. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I had no idea.
Where am I?
And then finally, when they're putting the dots on my face, that's when the makeup guy, he looks at me, he's like, you have no idea what we're doing here. And I was like, they haven't told me anything. He's like, you're Red Skull. And I was like, why? And I was like, huh? And then they said, yeah, this is the new Avengers movie. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to go to the bathroom and had to dry heaving a little bit. Yeah.
But so who did you have your scenes with?
Well, that's the funny thing. So in both movies were shot back to back in one day, 7 or 8 hours. I mean, it was the easiest shoot I've ever done, honestly, in terms of like time and everything. But Josh Brolin and Zoe Saldana, as well as Jeremy Renner and Scarlett Johansson, had shot their portion like 6 months earlier. They were hoping Hugo was going to come back to the part, but they couldn't get it worked out for whatever reason. So I was literally working with 2 body doubles who were, feeding me lines and whatnot. But it was the strangest way to work because they just can plug and play all that data into the scene from 6 months earlier, and you wouldn't know the difference. It's a really wild way to work. It really is, yeah. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
It was neat, yeah.
It's awesome.
Is that Spider-Man?
It is. Coming up here, Spidey, your question.
Before I start, I have a question for Ross. Well, I like how your character starts off as like innocent and scared and being fed applesauce to just like a complete badass. And what was it like filming that scene where he first loses his arm to like the logs? I would just want to ask, what was that like?
Yeah, that was nuts because they had a hollowed out log. It had to look real, of course, but they hollowed it out to not actually crush my arm. But they had they'd dug a little trench underneath that I could put it under, so it looked like the log was fully crushing my arm. But it was, I will say, I really leaned on Norman for that scene because I was my arm's broken and I have to lean on him. I probably messed up his knees pretty bad doing that, but like, it was nuts. Like they had originally pitched that to Andy. Andy was supposed to lose his arm after he punches Negan for killing Abraham. And then Andy had already known. He was like, I already want to leave the show. I want to be with my kids more. I don't know if I want to have a green sock over my arm for the rest of the time I'm on the show. Because back then it was going to be just a stub. And then they said, well, we'll give it to Norman. And Norman's like, well, how am I supposed to ride a motorcycle? And I'm like...
Valid question.
Yeah.
Valid question.
And they were like, oh, we'll make a little claw hooky thing, and he could slide it onto the handlebars and still be able to draw back the crossbow. And then AMC got wind of it, and they're like, absolutely not. That's an insurance liability nightmare. And then they pitched it to me, and I was like, great, let's do it. So yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah. I was like, cut my arm off. It's great. Yeah,
these wusses, man. I'll do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your question.
Hi, I was wondering, so I got the chance when I was in middle school, been a fan for a long time, to visit Sonoya, Georgia, where you guys have Woodbury and a lot of the backlot sets. What is it like filming in a working town? Like, the town is still a town, but it's also a set. Like, what is that like?
Well, so that's kind of the Walking Dead place, so it's very easy for them to shut down. Like, I've shot in the middle of New York, and that's like a whole other thing. But Sonoya is like, this is what it is, and I mean, that place is built up since the time that Walking Dead came there. I mean, Alexandria, you can buy houses there now, right? They cut down the walls and everything, but that for me was even more bizarre, of like this whole like housing estate of houses, which we were filming in, which now you can buy a house in. But I always think it's amazing when you can step into a show and be in the show. And I always tell people you should go there because you can stand on Woodbury High Street, you can go to Alexandria, you can go to all these places. But honestly, like, it's way easier to shoot there than it is to shoot in a big city because that's, for everyone that lives there, you're the reason why everyone there is making money. So they're just like, you could do anything you want to do. Like, do it. Shoot in front of my house. Shoot in front of this tree. And then we can, like, put a plaque on it and, sell pictures. So they love having us there.
Thank you.
Thank you. That'll do it. That's our last question. If you have any more, I think you guys are at your table all day. And I'm just really happy to see you guys, to have you guys here. And
they're playing us
they're
off.
Playing you out.
They're playing us off.
And the award for
Adrian Brody. I've done this before.
And the award for best convention guests go to Ross Marquand and Tom Payne. Give it up for these two, everybody.
Thank you very much, everyone.
I love them to death, and I love they're here at our beloved Planet Comicon. Thank you guys so much. I have a great day, everybody. Love you guys. I love you.
You want to
guys.
do the photo too, right?
We're going to do the photo.
Oh yeah, no, oh there, yeah. So we're gonna do a photo. Don't leave. We're doing the reverse angle photo. When the
Everyone's
lights
gonna
come
stay
on,
for
just look
Scream,
like
right?
you're going nuts. Just look like you're going nuts.
Is everyone staying for Matt and Skeet?
Skeet. Sorry. Nice. All right. Oh.
All right, right
There's
here.
so many-
Squeeze in right here. Squeeze in right here.
Oh, should I put this right here?
That's fine. Yeah. All right, no, we're looking this way. Everybody else, go nuts, everybody. Come on, yeah. Keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going.